Hello and welcome. In this video, we explore one of the most important models in modern psychology and cognitive behavioral therapy, the behavioral triangle, the relationship between thoughts, emotions, behavior, and the body. This model helps us understand why we react the way we do, how stress, anxiety, and emotional patterns develop, and where meaningful change can begin. Instead of focusing on just one aspect of mental health, the behavioral triangle shows how thoughts, feelings, actions, and physical reactions constantly influence each other. This is a calm, in-depth explanation of how the mind and body work together, not as a quick fix, but as a way to better understand yourself. Take your time with this video. There's no rush here. In psychology, some models survive not because they are complex, but because they are useful. The behavioral triangle, sometimes called the cognitive behavioral triangle, is one of those models. At first glance, it looks almost too simple. Thoughts, emotions, behavior, and in the center, the body. But simplicity does not mean superficiality. This model has remained central in modern psychotherapy because it captures something deeply human. The way our inner experience and outward actions continuously influence one another. In this video, we'll explore this triangle slowly and carefully. Not as a diagram to memorize, but as a way of understanding yourself with more clarity and compassion. The most important thing to understand first is this: the behavioral triangle is not a hierarchy. Thoughts are not on top. Emotions are not weaker. Behavior is not just an outcome. Each element influences the others continuously. Imagine a mobile hanging from the ceiling. Touch one piece and everything else begins to move. That is how this triangle works. A change in thoughts affects emotions. A change in emotions affects the body. The body influences behavior. Behavior feeds back into thoughts. There is no single starting point. Thoughts are not just sentences in your head. They are interpretations, predictions, assumptions, stories about what is happening and what it means. Many thoughts are automatic. They appear before we have time to question them. This is dangerous. I'm not good enough. This will go wrong. These thoughts feel like facts, but psychologically, they are hypotheses. Thoughts answer questions like, what is this situation? What does it say about me? What should I expect next? And once meaning is assigned, emotion follows. Emotions are often misunderstood as problems, but emotions are not mistakes. They are signals. Fear signals perceived threat. Sadness signals loss. Anger signals boundary violation. Joy signals connection or fulfillment. Emotions arise in response to meaning, not just events. Two people can experience the same situation and feel entirely different emotions because their interpretations differ. Emotions are fast. They prepare the body for action, which brings us to the center of the triangle. The body sits at the center of the behavioral triangle for a reason. Every thought and emotion has a physical correlate. Heart rate changes, breathing shifts, muscles tense or relax, hormones are released. The body translates psychological meaning into physiological readiness. Before you consciously decide what to do, your body has already prepared you. This is why anxiety feels physical, why anger feels hot, why sadness feels heavy. The body does not wait for logic. It responds to perceived meaning. Behavior is what we do or don't do. It includes actions, avoidance, safety behaviors, habits. Behavior is often an attempt to regulate emotion and bodily states. When anxiety rises, behavior often moves toward avoidance, reassurance seeking, distraction. These behaviors may reduce discomfort in the short term, but they often strengthen the cycle in the long term. Behavior feeds back into the triangle by confirming beliefs. Avoidance says, this really was dangerous. Let's bring the triangle to life with an example. Imagine someone walking into a social gathering. Thought, they're going to judge me. Emotion, anxiety. Body, heart racing, shallow breathing, muscle tension. Behavior, avoid eye contact, stay silent, leave early. Afterward, the mind concludes, see, I don't belong there. The triangle closes the loop. Nothing objectively dangerous happened. but the system learned that avoidance equals safety. One common misunderstanding is this: if thoughts influence emotions, then negative emotions must be my fault. This is not the point. The behavioral triangle is descriptive, not moral. It does not say, you should think differently. It says, this is how the system works. Understanding the system creates choice, not responsibility for suffering. One of the most empowering aspects of this model is that change can begin anywhere. You don't need to fix everything at once. You can intervene through thoughts, behavior, the body, emotional awareness. Different people find different entry points more accessible. Cognitive work is not about positive thinking. It's about curiosity. Questions like, is this thought a fact or an interpretation? What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts it? Is there a more balanced way to see this? The goal is not optimism, it is flexibility. Rigid thoughts create rigid emotions. Emotional work is not about suppression. It's about allowing and naming. Many emotional cycles intensify because emotions are treated as threats. When emotions are acknowledged without judgment, their intensity often decreases naturally. Emotions want to be felt, not fought. The body is often the fastest way to calm the system. Breathing, posture, movement, and grounding techniques directly influence the nervous system. Slow breathing sends a message of safety. Relaxed muscles reduce threat signaling. The body can calm the mind, even when thoughts remain unchanged. Behavioral change is powerful because it creates new evidence, approaching instead of avoiding, staying instead of escaping, acting despite discomfort. Behavioral experiments test predictions. Often, reality turns out to be less threatening than expected. Avoidance works temporarily. It reduces discomfort immediately, but it also teaches the system. Avoidance keeps me safe. Over time, the threshold for threat lowers. The world becomes smaller. Understanding this is not about self-criticism. It's about compassion for a system trying to protect you. The triangle does not operate once. It repeats. Patterns form. Habits solidify. What began as a response becomes a default. Therapy often involves making these patterns visible, not to judge them, but to gently interrupt them. In some conditions, the body takes the lead. Panic attacks, chronic stress, trauma responses. Here, physiological arousal precedes conscious thought. The triangle still applies, but intervention often starts with the body. Understanding the triangle invites a kinder view of yourself. You are not weak for feeling what you feel. You are not broken for reacting as you do. You are a human nervous system responding to meaning. Self-compassion reduces secondary suffering, the suffering about suffering. The behavioral triangle is not a law, it is a map. Maps help you orient. They don't tell you where you must go. This model offers clarity without simplification. The goal is not control, it is relationship. A relationship with your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your behavior. When you understand how these elements interact, you stop being surprised by yourself. And in that understanding, space opens for choice. The behavioral triangle doesn't promise quick relief. It offers something quieter and more durable: understanding. And sometimes understanding is the beginning of change. As we come to the end of this video, one thing becomes clear. The behavioral triangle is not about blaming thoughts, emotions, or behavior. It's about understanding how they interact and how the body connects them all. Change doesn't require controlling every thought or feeling. Often it begins with awareness, curiosity, and small shifts in how we respond. By understanding the connection between thoughts, emotions, behavior, and the body, we create space for more flexibility, self-compassion, and choice, especially when dealing with stress, anxiety, or emotional overwhelm. Thank you for taking the time to watch and reflect. Take care and be gentle with yourself. Are there specific topics you're interested in, or a particular question you'd like answered in your life? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe now and join me on your journey toward more clarity and inner strength.